I replayed Portal 2 recently, and with the release of Valve's new Portal spin-off game, I would really like to talk about Portal 2. Portal 2 is one of my favorite kick-back and relax games. Portal 2 is a story-rich puzzle game developed by Valve. As a puzzle game, I will admit that it does not have the most replay value, but replaying it really reminds me of why this game became one of my favorite games of all time. I enjoy the mind-boggling puzzles, the eerie feel of the setting, and the deep lore that accompanies it. You play the game as Shell, who after a long period of time was stuck inside the Aperture Science Enrichment Center. You will meet a sentient AI named GLaDOS who puts Shell in various test chambers and prompts her to solve puzzles with the portal gun. In Portal 2, you are also accompanied by a smaller AI named Wheatley. Together, you and Wheatley will attempt to escape GLaDOS and the mysterious Aperture Science Enrichment Center. And yes, I think that this game's story contains themes that resonate well with themes and ideas portrayed in my Christian faith. I'm not saying that Portal 2 is a Christian game, but the themes that appear in various mediums of pop culture can also appear in religion, and Portal 2 is just no exception. With that said, I understand that a lot of people are not comfortable or interested with the discussion of religion, so watch this video at your own risk. Also, spoilers for Portal 2. I literally can't make this video without spoiling Portal 2, so I ask you to please, if you have not played Portal or Portal 2, I suggest you play it first because I really think that the story is really nice. Are we good? Cool. So Wheatley betrays you. In the middle of the game, the main antagonist of the prequel, GLaDOS, was defeated by you and Wheatley. Later, Wheatley took her place as the sentient AI that rules over the Enrichment Center.
No, stop, no, 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 no!
Wow! Check the out, partner. We did it! I'm in control of the whole facility now.
However, the overwhelming power and knowledge that Wheatley now possesses corrupts him, and now he runs the place and continues to put you in test chambers.
Seriously, I can't get over how small you are, but I'm huge. Actually, why do we have to leave right now?
However, now, GLaDOS is transformed into a little potato and is now working by your side to beat Wheatley and escape the Enrichment Center. Plot twist. Wheatley is not doing an amazing job at running the Enrichment Center. He is a pretty sloppy and messy and reckless robot. The reason behind this is that Wheatley was never designed to run the place. In fact, it was revealed after you defeat GLaDOS that Wheatley was actually designed to stop GLaDOS from going crazy. He was designed to be a moron that's constantly supplying GLaDOS with terrible ideas.
The engineers tried everything to make me behave, to slow me down. Once, they even attached an intelligence dampening sphere on me. It clung to my brain like a tumor, generating an endless stream of terrible ideas.
No, not listening, not listening.
It was your voice.
Emotional, damn it!
See, GLaDOS was designed to speed up the process of testing Aperture Science's newest invention, the portal gun. However, when GLaDOS was developed, the algorithm quickly came to the conclusion that the best way to achieve her designated goal was to kill all humans in the Enrichment Center, apparently. Knowing this, the scientists and engineers quickly shut her off and created Wheatley, a voice in GLaDOS' head that has the ability to prevent her from taking any radical actions by providing her with bad ideas instead of good ones. Now, this embodiment of a terrible idea is running the entire place. This is a theme that I personally found to appear often in Portal 2. The idea of purpose, or more specifically, the perversion of purpose. GLaDOS was stripped of her original purpose of running the Enrichment Center. Wheatley, however, became the unrightful and incapable ruler of this Enrichment Center. Shell too was not supposed to be where she is. Shell is deprived of her free will and general life as a human. The result is blatant and utter chaos. Nothing is where it should be. I don't think that the concept of purpose or the perversion of purpose is exclusively a Christian or religious thing. I think that this concept is something that has or will cross everyone's mind regardless of religious belief or disbelief. However, in my religious faith, purpose is a pretty prevalent thing to be concerned about. I believe that humans were created by God to live alongside Him. We are created to live together with God in perfect harmony. We are intended to live a life to serve and praise God, and in doing that, be filled with the overflowing joy that comes with celebrating God's love and authority. This is our purpose. This is what we are meant to do and how we are meant to live. But just like in Portal 2, humanity was shifted from their original purpose. This happened when sin came into the world. Sin separates humans from God. The Bible states that God is a holy God and that he cannot be in communion with sin, and hence, we are unable to live in harmony with God. When sin enters the world, no human being is free from sin. The world becomes a dark place filled with hatred, deceit, and deterioration. I believe that humans, despite living apart from God, still behaves in a way that tries to fulfill that original purpose. Humans are living in separation from the God that we are meant to serve and praise, and so, humans find a new God to serve. In the Old Testament era of the Bible, we found that many people were serving and worshiping false idols in the form of man-made statues. But today, this takes a very different form. People worship money, power, or even their hobbies. Although it's not necessarily wrong to have or enjoy these things, worshipping these things is a different problem. Worshipping these things means that our entire existence revolves around it. We put aside things like health and family and focus on the things that matter to us. I didn't hear this from a pastor or a qualified person. This is just my personal observation and theory. Humans live apart from God due to sin. But since we humans are created to live alongside God, we then shift to other things the world can offer to fill that God-shaped hole in our lives. This is where things can get really destructive. In Portal 2, Shell finally comes face to face with Wheatley to have an epic final showdown. Shell won when she shot a portal to the moon, and Wheatley got sucked into the voidness of space, and GLaDOS achieved her rightful position as ruler of the Aperture Science Enrichment Center once again. I believe that humanity was given the opportunity to get restored when Jesus Christ died on the cross. When Jesus died on the cross, reconciliation happened. Sin needs to be punished, but since God does not want us to receive that punishment, he came down and carried out that punishment on behalf of humanity. That means that now, we have been reconciled with God. The blood that Jesus Christ shed covered our sins, so that now we can live in harmony again with God. We can fulfill that original purpose. We are able to live in the way God intended for us to live alongside God in perfect harmony. Aside from the fact that Portal 2 is just simply a good game with an interesting narrative, I personally enjoy the game more because it prompts me to think about this idea. Thank you, and may God's peace be with you. Goodbye.